Slayer! Hi, I'm Tom, and I'm in the middle of kitbashing and painting one of my dream Warhammer armies, a Sisters of Battle penitent host. It's full of repentia, arcoflagellants, mortifiers, and penitent engines, and led by the Inquisition. And this bad boy is the figurehead of it all, Inquisitor Karamazov, and the Throne of Judgment. If you haven't seen my other videos, check them out after this one. I kitbashed Karamazov using a Adepta Dreadnought, and I also kitbashed a Ministorum Priest. My squads of repentia and arcoflagellants will both be led by a Ministorum Priest, a fanatically faithful and unwavering, hate-filled servant of the ecclesiarchy. When I started this project, the selection of priests from Games Workshop was somewhat lacking, so I thought, why not kitbash my own? Let me know in the comments which squad you think this priest should lead. Should it be the repentia or the arcoflagellants? Sounds like I'm saying arcoflatulence, but it's flagellants. And also, what should I name him? The base model for this kitbash is the Navigator. This originally was in Blackstone Fortress, but has had an official model release to go in the Imperial Agents army. Let's get it cut off the sprue. Boobity bobbity boop. I haven't glued this together. I've dry fitted the parts so that I can work out what I need to cut off and add. I used the Flagellants kit from Age of Sigmar, and I picked out this head as one of my favourite. This is quite a simple head swap because there's already a neck in place, so I just removed the Navigator head, left a little bit of a neck stub, and then dry fitted the Flagellant head. When I liked the pose of it, I glued it in place. I then used the Imperial Agents kit. I picked out some shoulder pads and some extra bits just to make it more inquisitorial. These Navigator shoulder pads just won't do, but they're also in the way. So again, dry fit everything before gluing it. So these bits would need removing, sanding down a little bit, being careful not to cut any other bits off the model. There you go, I've trimmed it down as much as I can. I also decided I didn't like the staff and cut that off as well. Once I was happy with the general layout, I stuck the base model together and then started adding all the bits. I added this scroll on the bottom, which originally was some eyeball pendant that was there originally. There's a big hole in the back, and I thought I'd go crazy with this one, and I built a Sisters or Adepta Sororitas backpack and put one of the relic holders in it. I thought this would be mad, but very, very ecclesiarchy and inquisitorial. So I assume this priest goes into battle in silence, and the cherub will carry a list of sinners, which he is leading. I also noticed on the back here that there's these navigation symbols, and need to remove them to make sure it fits the overall theme. I then used the Redemptionist kit from Necromunda to pick out the Eviscerator, which is basically a chainsword with a flamethrower attached to it as well. And I was planning to fit it in place where his right hand is holding the staff. But I quickly identified this as a little bit too big. Much too big. It's not going to work if I lean it and sort of hang it off the ground either. It's just going to look strange. So I decided I'd fit it on the back, like mount it to the backpack, which I've done similar on my other priest. And then what would I put in the staff hand? Well, this flamer sort of staff is in the Redemptionist kit as well. I thought, holy fire, why not? And it's almost a perfect fit. But the flames have a bit of a tilt to them, so what I have to do is trim the bottom of the flames to give it a flat edge so it rests on the ground, like cut here. And then it should fit in a good pose under the orb he's holding. So I measured it there. It's about right. No, I need to cut a bit more off. So measure often and cut once, I think is the phrase, isn't it? So there you go, that is about right, but the flames here still need to have a trim at the bottom a bit more. Once I was happy with it, I've super glued it in place, because super glue you can snap off to make it easier to paint. If you use plastic glue, it literally bonds the pieces together. So super glue is handy if you're posing things. So then I got this brass sheet off eBay. I think there's like a few meters of it for like £5. And it's very thin, so much you can actually cut it with scissors. And what I'm planning to do here is, as the priest is silent, the cherub will be carrying a banner with the names of all the condemned and sinners into battle. So I'm just measuring it to shape here. Cut it, and then it's too uniform and neat and tidy, and yeah, it's just not going to work like this, is it? So what I did is get some gammy old tweezers where the points are bent, and just start bending it and twisting it. And just imagine a piece of paper, a brand new sheet of paper, and you want it to look old. You just crumple up into a little ball and then flatten it out again, and it would look weathered and damaged. And that's the same theory of this. So sort of bending it back, put some dents in it, some creases, some little holes even. You could potentially tear this, put little, like shove the tweezers through it as well, make some little tears in it. And there we go, that's looking so much better already. And I want it to go in this space here, because it sort of flows down into the scrolls under the relic and then away from the model. So it fills this negative space, it's called, to the right of it. And after I glued it in place, because it's shiny, I've sprayed it with matte varnish, because this will give it a good surface for paint to cling to. And then I gave it a quick paint job, and boop, here you go. So this is the finished model. I've got some decals on it, some grime, some oil, some blood. I've then used a micro pen to add the names of all my Patreon supporters as the sinners and condemned who are running into battle. These are going to be the Archoflagellants or Repentia. So if you want your name on this list, consider joining my Patreon. And if you'd like this, please subscribe, check out my other videos, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I also have affiliate links below if you want to buy any Warhammer. Thank you, bye!